Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel for this week's Monday video. I am off to Penzance CEX to go and have a look at a few games that are on the list of wants. I've got a few games in my bag to trade in to offset the cost. Let's go check them out. So, made it to Penzance, all parked up. The sun is starting to come out. It was a bit misty this morning, and a few specks of rain. It's supposed to be really nice for the weekend. So, gonna check out a few charity shops on the way down, and then head out and check the CEX. Let's go take a look. So just been and checked out Cornwall Hospice charity shop. I've been in a couple so far and nothing. There was a few bits in there. I have to wait till I get back to the GC and see what I may have picked up. Let's move on. Quick stop off in Game on Cornwall. See what they've got. Go and play a few games. Going into a computer battle now. This is definitely a lot harder one-handed, as you can see. Let's try it two-handed. What was your favourite? Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat? For me, it was Mortal Kombat. This one's a little bit easier to play when you know some of the moves one-handed. Sub-Zero was my favourite character for this. As you can see, I have chosen to be Sub-Zero. So made it to CEX. Let's go and see if we can get these games traded in and see what we can find and pick up. Let's have a quick look in the window. Couple of 3DS games. Box N64. Really love those Halo lights, they're fantastic. Real good display piece. A few more heavy hitters on the Xbox 360. Velvet Assassin and a Lollipop Chainsaw there. Need for 40 quid. Sega Saturn. And moving into a few boxed N64 games. Oh, this is the world of a NES. One that I do need. I say generally condition wise you tend to see the older ones get a little bit more tatty, that's for sure. But that one's not too bad by the looks of it. the consoles. The orange controller is definitely something I wanted to add to my Switch, but I never did get around to doing it. And then the Switch 2 came out. Someone has traded in a Switch 2 here already. I think the only issue with the Switch 2 at the moment is the lack of games, that's for sure. But I know there's a few that will come in. And you have the same. All the PlayStation consoles and games, PSP there. Someone traded in a couple of PSPs. Same PlayStation PS1 adapter. The classics, a couple of classic consoles down there at the bottom, and then the N64. We've got the Nintendo 4 score there in the back, 15 quid, that's not bad. A few Nintendo Switch 2 games traded in again already. Surprising, you know, some people just play the game, trade it straight in. Like new Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 already up to £50. That will probably stay there with the film. Probably stay there for a while at that price, I think. Again, another one that just stayed around £60. I'm glad I picked that one up, that's for sure. You've got one at 62 and they've got another one here at 65. So that will probably, one of them will go through at a different price when they put it through the till. Shame to see cover reprints on Switch's games already. Got quite a few of the Monster Jam games on the Wii. One on the Switch there. Moving into the GameCube, they've got a few here. Some not so great condition games there, unfortunately. One thing that does surprise me is the levels of what each CEX take. Some don't even look at the game, don't even look at the discs, and they just take them in, and others are a little bit more picky about what they do take in. New Super Mario Brothers U, another great game. A few more cover reprints. Good selection of Xbox 360. Plenty of Brink and Assassin's Creed, that's for sure. And that was my knee that just went crack. Signs of getting old. I'm sure you heard it. Few classic brilliant games that released on the Xbox 360. Certainly the best console, or Xbox console. I haven't really picked up many for the new one. After the 360, my collecting kind of definitely took a pause on the Xbox. Yeah, they've got a good selection here of 360. It did spike for a while, the prices went up. I think they've steadied a little bit again. Definitely good to see good variety of games down here. Dead or Alive Ultimate, the original Xbox, £15. I love a good Dead or Alive game. I've got a few of them on my consoles. I've got a few more Xbox games, the original ones here down the bottom. PS Vita and PSP. You don't see so many of them around. A few more PSP games, quite a few here. Unusual to see quite so many. And then the UMD films for the PSP as well there. The expensive mid-range one on the PS2 there, Everblue 2. £7, £18. That's the PS2, moving into PS3. Not a console that I look for, or even have. As I mentioned previously before, I don't really go too much into PlayStation. I collected and stopped at the PlayStation 2. And then it turned to just sticking to Xbox 360 and Xbox One. Finally, there's the two newer consoles, Xbox Series X Xbox One, and then we will follow into the PS5. Surprising how cheap some of the games here are on the Xbox One. Dead or Alive. Series X ones on the top there. And moving into the PS5. Kronos, £40. Doom Dark Ages. Heard that's a good game. Death Stranding. There's a few £40 games here on the PS5 still. Another brilliant game that I play a lot of on the Xbox. It's Ninja Gaiden.
How many times I kill him, he always returns. Only a master ninja of the Raven clan can send the Dark Dragon to his true grave. But no such ninja has answered the call.
If I try to pull anything shady, just cut me down then and there. You have no idea, do you? If, and only if, you deem him worthy.
He doesn't scare me.
Be careful, Yakumo.
Tell me, Yakumo, do you really plan on keeping this up?
The supreme Dark Dragon in all his glory.
£40 there on the PS5. And finally the PS4. Right, let's head out to CEX and back to the car. Games traded in, they took them all, and I've got a bit of money left over. I think it was 2 games that I left behind that didn't have manuals, but their disc cleaner was working, which was amazing, which is fairly unusual as well for CEX. But we did pick up a few, so we'll get back to the GC and show you what we picked up. Let's head back to the car. Hey guys, welcome back. I am here back in the GC after our trip to Penzance, and I have got a fair few to show you. Did I hit that 800 mark? Let's see what we've got. So we're going to start with what I picked up in the charity shop. You don't see much stuff down here in Cornwall in the charity shops recently. It's usually the same old stuff. It's all FIFAs. If there's anything on the Xbox 360, usually it's the Kinect games that don't really do all that well. And I think I've got quite a few of the Kinect games anyway. But I did manage to pick up a few. And when you see games at 50p, you can't really say no to add a game for 50p to the collection. So the first one is Pro Evolution Soccer 6. Not bad for 50p. We also then have NBA Live 07, so a couple of sports games. Obviously, sports games, you can usually pick them up quite cheaply, but 50p, I couldn't go wrong to add them. But the best one was Call of Duty Black Ops. Unfortunately, this one's not got the proper manual, but for 50p, you can't turn that down, can you? And I've got most of the Call of Duty games on the Xbox 360 now. I think that was one of the only ones I'm missing. I think it's only Black Ops 2 that I'm now missing. Okay, so now on to the Wii games I picked up in CEX. So I managed to trade in 4 games. Actually did quite well on those because I've a few of them that I had them priced up for lower on Vinted and eBay. They hadn't sold, and to get more money by trading them into CEX was an absolute no-brainer. So these games have actually cost me nothing, and I still got some voucher left over as well. So let's see what we've got. So first up, we have the last Madden game I needed, so Madden 07. I'm surprised these haven't gone up in price with John Madden passing away. But obviously sports games, you see so many of them. Next up, we have a Family Ski and Snowboard. So I've got Family Ski, I just needed the Snowboard one. Again, a nice, relatively cheap one that pops up all the time, but to pick them up in CEX and not having to worry about postage or anything like that was a bonus. Next up is the last of the Harry Potter. So this one is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, which was the last one I needed. Which was the last one that was the last one I needed to complete the Harry Potter subset. And we hit the 800 mark. We've got 4 more to go, so that's some hell of an achievement to make the 800 Wii games. We are under 575, I think, roughly, to go. I'm still adding a few games that I found that have been released in Europe, so that might increase slightly. But we're under 500 to go, so that's a real great bonus. So speaking of great, we have Great Party Games up next. Next up is, this one's actually been said that it's actually quite a good game. I've heard quite a few people say that this is an enjoyable one. Koro Rimpa, I think that's how it's said. So that's a marbles game. You go through loads of courses trying to get the marbles down the ramps. Next up is another one of the family party games. I think this is the last one I needed, actually. So this one is 30 Great Games Family Party Winter Fun. And our last game, well, I think that takes me up to about 804 now. And that is MX versus ATV Untamed. So that concludes the pickups from CEX. I'm just going to add a little bit about the staff in there down at Penzance. The lady that served me, she was fantastic, really, really good. And there's a few CEXs I've been, they've been quite abrupt in the way when you ask a question or you say you want to look at the disc before you buy it, they get quite rude, quite abrupt with you. And I think it's a customer's prerogative to be able to look at what they're buying. So she started putting the discs in the cases, and I said, do you mind if I have a look at them before I buy them? Because I'm very fussy with my discs. And she goes, yeah, not a problem, that's fine. So, you know, picked up the first one, showed me the bottom of the disc, and it was a little bit scratched. And I said, is your cleaner working? Obviously, quite a few of the CEXs down here in Cornwall, their disc cleaners are currently out of action. It seems to be a recurring issue. However, Penzance's was working. So she goes, yep, not a problem, I'll put that through the cleaner. And we went through 2 or 3 more. And she said, I'll tell you what, I'll put them all through. So all the games here I bought, they were all a little scratched. Some were a little bit more scratched than others. And she put them all through the cleaner while I carried on and did some filming. So all that footage you've seen, I was doing that while she was cleaning the discs. And she did a bloody good job. The discs are now immaculate. And that level of service that's what you expect. As a customer, that is what you expect. And the ones I traded in, this is another difference I think between CEXs, is some will just take the discs in, don't even look at it, they'll just take it, yep, give you your voucher or your money, and you're all good. Which was, for me, was a bonus. She didn't look at any of the discs. Obviously, all the 4 discs I did trade in were all, you know, very, very good. But with their cleaner working, regardless, they'll be able to clean them if someone else wasn't happy with them. But some of the other CEXs, particularly Churro, instantly refuse any discs that had a little bit of scratching on. And I tried to trade in a few with the Wii that I traded a few weeks back. And there was one that was a little scratched, but it was nowhere near to the excess of what I've seen in their store, where some of their discs I've turned down because they're so bad, and because their cleaner's not working, they then can't clean the discs or resurface the discs. So for them to refuse a disc because it's not good enough, but they've already got discs that aren't up to standard on their shelves is a little bit, how do you say, it's almost double standards really. You know, you've got one standard for them having the discs on the shelf, and then for the ones that are coming in, it's not good enough. So it's a strange one. But the lady that served me in Penzance, she was brilliant. She was really helpful. So also before when I was trading in my discs, I asked her about the manuals, and so Penzance keep 90% of all their manuals in the back with the discs. So you could open up a disc box and think, great, it's just the box, there's no manual. It's strange how every CEX is so different, because true, I've got them all on my shelves. So if they don't have a manual in, you know they don't have a manual, which is fine, which is okay. But what Penzance said is people have tended to steal the manuals and leave them with just the disc boxes to fill up their games that have got no manuals. So they've stopped putting them out on the shelves. So for PS2 and for the Wii, they put them in the back, she said. But I will definitely be popping down there again when they if they get in a few more Wii games that I require, because it was really great service. So yeah, really thank you to Penzance CEX for giving me great service. I picked up a great lot of games that takes me up to 800 or over that 800, and I come away happy. So yeah, all in all, a really positive morning. So yeah, if you've enjoyed the video today, hit that like button. It really helps grow the channel. And if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe and the bell icon for all future videos. And as always, don't forget to create your world of gaming.